Hello, hello, good people. Hello, and welcome back to another car conversation or Make America Think a Good Make America Think Again. I'm not starting this over again. Make America Think Again. If you can just hear my voice, you're hearing me over the airwaves, you're just listening to the podcast. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So I want to talk about this alligator Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz. If you haven't heard, there is a new detention center location, and it is in the middle of nowhere. They are currently building it out. And when I say building out, I mean putting some little flimsy tents and some FEMA trucks um, at this deserted Air Force base in the middle of the Everglades, where there's just alligators, snakes, a bunch of mosquitoes, a bunch of water, swamps, and I'm quite sure hurricanes. We're at the beginning of hurricane season, so we'll see how it goes. But this is where they have decided to put this, and I'll say, when I say they, I mean the Felon 47 regime and their buddy, DeSatan, down in Florida, decided, which I think it was DeSatan's idea, decided to open up this facility at this, it's my understanding is an airport that never happened. It's an airport that they started building and they decided, well, you know, we got the runways and stuff, but this is not the proper place to have an airport, or the people. I think the people voted it down. The wildlife conservative conservation people, folks, they got it shut down. So anyways, they're using this area now as is going to be a new detention center. And where's the money coming from, you ask? Well, currently, because the big BS bill has not been fully passed, it made it through the House once, went over to the Senate, things got changed, passed the Senate, now it has to go back to the House. Okay. Now there's money in there for the ICE folks and Department of Homeland Security. Okay. So there's money in there for that. But for right now, what they're doing is using FEMA money. So if you're in North Carolina, you're in Kentucky, you're here like folks in California with the fires, if you are still waiting on FEMA assistance, or you recently got your FEMA assistance cut off, Felon 47 said no more to your state. Here's why. Here is why they want to open these detention centers, and they're using the money to do that. He's using executive orders and these, I think it's called emergency status. Yeah, emergency status to go around Congress to be able to open these things, these situations immediately, these detention centers, these concentration camps. Their concentration camps is basically what it's going to equate to open them as quickly as possible. Felon 47 also alluded to the fact that this is just the first location in Florida. He said that he believes or he knows that DeSatan has another location that he will be opening up shortly. The current one that I'm talking about that's in the Everglades will hold up to 5,000 people. 5,000 people. Again, there's nothing out there besides swamp, critters, a bunch of swamp water, hurricanes coming. It's like Hurricane Alley. Okay. So that's the situation that they want to put people in. And I'm saying just people. I'm not giving any of these other labels because we have seen it has moved from quote unquote migrants to, I'm sorry, no, it started off with the worst of the worst, the baddest of the bad. The gang members, the rapists, the robbers, the killers, that's who we're going to go after, right? They never did that. They never did that. I posted a previous video as to why I think that didn't happen. That would be bad business for the government, because we know that they do some circulating of guns and drugs through gangs. We know that. Okay, so I believe that's why they're not going after the gangs to this day, actual gangs. So they just started, came up with this quota, and they just started randomly picking up whomever they see. Street vendors. I saw the ice cream man was picked up one day, a lady who was selling tacos on the side of the road, people that are working in nail salons, people that were at a flea market. Like it's all over LA, coming to their people's homes and using the flashbangs and using drones. Remember, I told you those drones were going to pop up again. Remember those mysterious drones that as soon as this administration got in and reporters and the journalists in the room at the press conferences were trying to ask questions about the drones, and KKK Caroline quickly shut down those conversations? Well, the drones are back. The drones are back. So they're throwing the flashbangs into the home and sending the drones in to tell them where people are in the house. That's happening in LA right now. That's happening in LA right now. So, yeah, so it went from the worst to the worst. That never happened, right? So they just started picking up random people. It moved here in the past couple of weeks to Iranian people that were here seeking asylum because, you know, the whole situation with Israel and Iran, and then we try to jump in instead of minding our own business. We've got to jump in. So they started picking up Iranian people. They started picking up Haitian people. They started picking up, and I'm putting emphasis on Haitian. There's a Jamaican man he was born in Germany to a US military member who I believe the mother is Jamaican and the father is American US citizen, and the child was born, he's a man now, but he was born in Germany. They just deported him to Jamaica. He's never lived in Jamaica, but because either the mom or the dad is of Jamaican descent, they decided to send him to Jamaica. So Black folks, your rest time is over. Nap time is over. Time to wake up. They're on to the Black people now. They have moved on to the Black people now. And if you're still like, oh, but I'm American, do you know how many times I have heard in my entire life, what are you, from white people? They can't figure it out. So what is it? Why do you think that they will, how do you think, or why do you think they'll be able to decipher between you and the Haitian person? I've gotten Dominican, I've gotten Puerto Rican, I've gotten a whole bunch of other stuff. So I don't assume that people know that I am African American. Now I answer that question with just human, because that's all that really should fucking matter. But since people got to ask that damn question, I answer with human. You figure it out. But now we're in a critical time. We can't just let people figure it out, because they're already starting to deport people who look like us. It's not just Latinos anymore. So for all you people say, oh, well, they voted for that. They voted for that, you know, not me, but they voted for that. I'm part of the 92%. Yes, that's great. That's great. We tried to tell them. We did our part, but it's time for us to circle back and dive back in and get, you know, back in the fight, because now they are coming for Black people, and just Black people are Black people in the eyes of a lot of white people. They don't know. They don't know where you're from. They don't care. They think we all look alike. So you have that happening. What else was I going to tell you about this? Okay, so yeah, this facility that they're opening up in Florida, they're throwing it together. I believe they just started working on it this week, and they're saying that they're going to start sending actual human beings to this location beginning tomorrow. We've seen cots, we've seen like the inside where there's just cots stacked on top of each other in these fenced in cages, just like we saw before in his first term with the child separation. But they get a little more than what is that, mylar little thin blanket. There actually are some cots. The money's coming from FEMA. So, you know, and God forbid you know, a hurricane comes through, a tornado comes through your town, or there's fires again out here or anything, because they're going to use up the FEMA money on the detention centers until they get the release of money from the big BS bill. Trust me, that's what's going to happen. This one in Florida will not be the only one. It will not be the only one. Also, for us to all be on notice, Felon 47 today floated that whole homegrown idea, the homegrowns, but he didn't use that term. But he used the same scenario. You know, the people that are walking around here, they might be from here and they just like hitting people over the head and blah, 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 blah. You know, he goes into his own little tangents. But he was talking about Americans, talking about deporting Americans. That he said that just today. Just today. You can find it, you can Google it, you can find it on social media, trust me. So there will be one thing for certain and two things for sure that I know. Just looking at all this, looking at this whole concept of an alligator Alcatraz. Number one, I know that there will be more deaths. There will be more deaths. Right now, Florida is holding at least half of the deaths. I mean, they're responsible for at least half of the deaths of people that have been in detention centers. And that number is about to grow exponentially. Mark my words. And the second thing I know for sure is that it's coming to a city near you. Unfortunately, it's coming to a city near you. The most awful conditions that they can put these folks in, that is what they're looking for. So I suspect something like we'll be out in the middle of the desert here when you're talking about California or Nevada, possibly. Again, they're talking about putting people in these detention centers. This one detention center specifically beginning tomorrow, we don't even know if there's toilets there. We don't know if there's running water, clean water. What does the sanitation look like? Are there food supplies? Like, will these people be able to survive? And I think that is the goal, that they don't. And not just for them, not just for them. If you pay attention to everything that they are cutting off and taking away, the big BS bill deals mostly with healthcare, but look at all the other programs and look at all the other life-sustaining support systems. It's not just migrants that they're trying to kill off. It's all of us. If you're not wealthy, if you're not white, and if you're not a white male, if you're not a Christian white male, and you don't have money, you better look out, because they're coming for you in some way or another too. Trust me on this. Trust me.